So you can hear us both.
Alright.
We're both handsome still. Alright.
I think you're gonna have to watch it on here.
What? What was wrong with that?
Might be a delay. Yeah, I'll try it. I don't care.
It's okay if there's like a frame delay. We're not the ones playing it. Honestly, we're fixing the audio here as we begin our tournament, our descent to the double. James talking.
I think that might be. Can you hear me? Can you hear both of us good? Is it working? Yeah? Okay.
Let's go.
Alright, you guys are up.
No contest. Survival. Survival.
You can do all. I never go anywhere, so don't have to worry about me.
Yeah, it's no worries.
What time is your tournament today? Ask my coworker.
Yeah, you wanna swap seats actually, so I can hear you on my
Swap seats. Sure.
right side, but keep your headset.
Ready? Go!
Check, check.
Check 1, 2. I think they're already into it.
Yes.
So we got Gomi and Mont Money, Fox Peach versus Koff and GanonUpTilt, which is Falco Ganon.
Yeah. Want to introduce us first? A little bit of echo was throwing me off. Whoa. It's like the, what was it, the Whisper Challenge? You remember where they reverb? Like, back into your headset? Is that what it was? I forget what it was
I'm
called.
not sure.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time.
You're hearing me double?
Yeah, I'm hearing myself double too, which is
Oh,
crazy.
okay.
Well, in any case, to introduce us, I'm Snacks. This is my friend Panos. We've been doing Philly tournaments for like 5+ years.
Yeah,
Probably longer.
at least, yeah.
Yeah, and huge Teams fan here. Okay, so off the bat, we have a somewhat easy game, Fox Peach versus Falco Ganon. I believe these are the folks I was actually watching play before.
Oh yeah, these are the guys you were telling me about, right?
Yeah,
Pretty solid.
yeah, both the Falco and the Ganon in this case seem to me to be pretty aware. You know what I mean? Like the Falco preemptively sort of has the awareness of where Ganon's going to be sending them, and then like goes up there to meet them. So maybe that'll give him an advantage in what would otherwise be a disadvantaged matchup, right?
Yeah, this can be really tough, especially as Ganon, and even like Falco. that doesn't have that much ground speed and like quick grounded moves to break up the chaos a little bit, like a character like Fox does, they could very much easily get overwhelmed. Ooh, but nice Titman out there.
Yeah, he gets the Titman out there. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite kill. The Fox is a pretty low percent. He's back off the stage again. And that's the thing, is that the Falco was aware enough to know this edge guard's going pretty well. All they have to do is keep Fox's teammate at bay, and maybe they can close it up. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way, but it's the right idea.
Yeah, Ganon accidentally fares his teammate, unfortunately.
And I mean, 2v1s are basically impossible. Tries to go all the way through with the up smash. That's the end of game 1.
All right, that's game 1.
I want to assume it's best of 3, like all the way to the end, right?
Yeah,
Up until the last top 3 or something. Ooh, I cut my leg. That's no good. So we didn't get to see the whole first game. So unlike usual, I do not have much advice for for Falco Ganon.
I mean, I would imagine that Japan's Yoshi's here.
Yeah.
So, okay, we get it out.
Okay, and they're playing it sort of the way that I like Fox Peach to be played. Sometimes Fox initiates, but you really want to lower the amount of risk that Fox is taking. Because like a Peach is usually going to take like a hit, whereas, you know, Fox goes in can start getting destroyed really fast.
Yeah, and Mob Money is very much that style of Fox.
Yeah.
He's not overwhelming you with his pressure in the sense that, like, he's hitting your shield a lot, but certainly his dash dances are very crisp and he's very hyper-aware of his spacing on the ground, so
yeah,
it's going to aid it in that style a lot.
Yeah, positioning is really important. That's sort of like what you're saying is you can use Fox's speed not necessarily just to engage, but you have sort of like a wider area of effect. Like if the Peach is to pass someone to you, you can get them from farther away, or if the Peach ends up in trouble, you can sort of rescue them with a drill or try to break up the combo. The Wizard's Foot takes out both of them.
The Mega Bus, as they used to call it.
That's right.
Really nice save by the Falco there. Hyper aware that his teammate was recovering and just shine Peach at the ledge.
Oh, I love Peach crouching in center stage, multiple down smashes, vintage Peach Teams gameplay. Okay, wow, that's a really upward angle, able to make it back.
Yeah, doing those high recoveries when your teammate is coming back invincible is really smart, because it gives them like the maximum amount of time basically to come back and interrupt the edge guard, so smart recovery there.
Yeah, and even if you do get hit, as long as you die well enough to be able to make it back, assuming they win the exchange, you may be able to make it back to the stage after just one additional hit, rather than, you know, losing your whole stock over it. Wow, huge play from the Falco on the left side of the stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, back right in the down air.
Oh, nice up smash. Nice shine. I feel like there was a way they could have converted that, but the Falco did play it smart. Oh, but they did, eventually.
Yeah. Down smash into up tilt, one of the classics, just slowly pushing Ganon to the edge. So apparently we really like the Wizard's Foot. We're riding the Mega Bus all the way.
Sometimes you just gotta let it rock. Alright. And a clean 2-0 from Mont Money and Gomi. I would say that even though they won that set pretty solidly, I saw a lot of positions that they probably could have capitalized a little bit more on 2v1 damage.
Yeah.
Which makes me feel like, you know, they probably don't play teams, at least together, as much. So I'll be interested to see how they fare against some opponents later in the bracket.
Yeah, sometimes if you're like a good singles player and a decent teams player throughout the course of a tournament, as you start to get to the harder matches, you can do that more.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to turn on an extra level of awareness that's really draining in order to make those kinds of team combos happen. So a lot of like the really good teams kind of just play singles for the first, you know, couple rounds of the bracket when it's just people you don't recognize, people that you know that you're going to probably beat anyway. That way you save all of your team's juice, as it were, for the end of the tournament.
That's right. Yeah, you kind of unlock your team's third eye a little bit later in the bracket.
Yeah, because the whole thing about in like singles in the early bracket, you can, you know, they call it autopiloting, but you're really relying on your fundamentals and not like, you're not thinking too hard about how to counter your opponent. You're sort of just sticking with your baseline game plan, so you don't have to like exert too much energy to beat them. In teams, the side effect of that is you're not doing too much team stuff.
Right.
You may have like some standard teams things that you do without thinking, like maybe you grab the ledge in a spot where you would go for an offstage edge guard and let your teammate do their thing. But as far as like breaking up combos and positioning yourself more around your teammate, you're not going to do it as precise as the way as you would when you're fully aware.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure. And it's one of those things where it's kind of a cliche to say it, but like thinking too hard about the mix-ups at a certain point in bracket like actively hurts you.
Yeah.
You know, versus an opponent that like might not actually be mixing it up as much as you
That's true.
would for an opponent that's slightly further in the bracket.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to kind of rely on those quote-unquote autopilot skills to, you know, because Armada's punish game is going to be ridiculous no matter where he is in bracket, right?
Right,
But
yeah.
like thinking about the neutral interactions a little bit too hard might actually hurt him, especially if he doesn't need to.
Yeah.
So
And there's like a few different levels as you go through the bracket, and it's not always the same round of the bracket, but usually you start and people are doing their thing, and a lot of those things aren't the highest risk reward version of the thing. Then you get to a level in bracket where people are doing the right risk reward thing most of the time, but it's always that thing.
right,
And then the level above that, when you start to get into the, I think that's where higher level starts.
right.
Is where you're playing with what Dave Sterling called donkey space, where you're
And
playing
to win. Right?
you're playing your base game plan, but donkey space is sometimes doing the suboptimal thing with the knowledge that it will beat your opponent in
Right.
enough cases.
the
So-
mango, if you will.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like if you do the right thing 100% of the time, your opponent can counter it 100% of the time. But there's a certain point where like the expected value of the thing that beats that's overall worse, is worth mixing in. You know, maybe it's 20% of the time or whatever it is.